Welcome back, folks, to the TED Magazine Business Blast. This episode of the show is brought to you by Satco. Go to satco.com. That's SATCO.com, Greg. They got everything. If you're an electrical distributor and you want to have one lighting vendor, choose Satco. What's up, Greg?
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about today. So we're lighting distributors, and other people listening to this are electrical distributors or maybe not distributors at all. But if you are in the distribution business or really any business, you need to buy what you're selling from someone else, right? Like in terms of a lighting distributor, we buy from vendors. And we can buy from anybody we choose to. And it could be as many as we want. But we talk about having enough tools in our, what do you say in the
tool belt?
Tool belt or
arrows
quiver.
In your
arrows
quiver?
in the quiver. Yeah, I've heard you say that a couple times. So arrows in our quiver. So you want to have that, but how many do you want to have? Is there a point where you got to look and say, all right, let's consolidate our vendors, let's consolidate who we buy from, or should we continue to buy from everyone we can and just pick and choose where it makes sense?
That's like a sales rep to purchasing manager argument that goes on in every business, right? A sales rep will be out there in the field. He's running around trying to sell whatever he's trying to sell, and he's trying to come up with solutions. He doesn't want to have like this is our vendor list. This is our, what do they call that? Their sheet of vendors. You know what I'm talking about. There's
I know what you mean.
Anyway, electrical distributors would be like, it's called this, man. But anyway, so they know what I'm talking about. This is who we rep, right? And do you need anything from them? No? Okay, see you later. They want to come up with solutions. What's that? Line card. That's it.
Line card.
Line card. Right? They want to come up with solutions for their customers. So what they're doing is probably putting together packages of stuff from one of the vendors on their line card and another one of their vendors on their line card and so on and so forth, right? So then what happens is, they need something else to finish that, whatever it is, solution they're coming up with their customer for, and it comes from this vendor here. So they run back super excited. They probably already called the other vendor. The other vendor's super excited to do business with them because they want to get a new customer. They've already worked out all the problems. They come running back to the purchasing manager saying, I need this, and this. And then I also need you to set these guys up as a vendor because I need to order this stuff from sorry, man, I can't do that. Why is that? Well, we're at our vendor max, and right? So there's that. And then the other side of it's like, every time this sales rep cooks up some new scheme, I got to set up another vendor. Doesn't he realize that the other guy on the line card that we've committed to has a very similar product? Well, it's not the same thing. The customer wants this one. I already talked to the customer about it. No. But this guy has the same stuff. This other vendor on our line card, you got to sell what we sell. You can't sell what we don't sell. I don't sell boxes of bottled water either. I don't sell bags of peanuts, right? So there's like a struggle between those two things, and you want to maximize that struggle. You want to make sure the purchasing manager is firm in his position and, is able to be influenced, but you really got to convince the girl or the guy or whoever it is that they're able to say no, and they're able to point to, times when we're not opening every vendor with an account. It's crazy. And then you got to allow the sales representative in the field to be creative and allow him to or her to really help customers and solve problems. So you want that tension. You want that tension between the two of them, right? And so I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's an accounting issue. I think it's a struggle between purchasing and sales in your company. And you want to keep it fair, and you want to keep it not personal, and you want to make sure that but you want to facilitate that struggle in a sense to see who wins, right? I don't know.
You want to keep it tense a little bit. Is what you're saying? Yeah,
you want some tension there, because you want your sales reps to be out in the field, working hard, thinking hard, using their creativity. If they have an entrepreneurial little gut thing going in their gut, you want that. That's what you pay for, right? And then on the purchasing manager side, you want them to resist opening an account with everybody for every single thing. You want them to insist on their line card. And that adding someone to our line card is a process. We don't just add everybody to our line card. There's a process. We don't sell bottles of water. We don't sell peanuts, and we don't sell Cracker Jacks. So get your, whatever. This has to be important. So you want to keep that tension there, right? That tension between those two things. And that tension is the sign of a vibrant business. It's a sign of good sales reps. It's a sign of purchasing managers that stand up for their line card and stand up for their processes and stand up for not being made crazy every time, the sales rep has a harebrained idea. Hey, go back to the line card, man. Why are you off the line card? Oh, dude, you got to listen to me, man. Listen. No, you're off the line card again. No, but no, seriously, man. This deal's worth X. You know what I mean? You got to have that tension there, and you got to make sure that people want to convince one another, right? They have to want to convince one another, not fight with one another. They have to want to convince one another, and the other person has to be able to stand up to the other person, right? And they have to be able to make their case. Why? Why do we want to do this? And they have to argue it out, and then that's when the president comes in. He sits down. What's going on? Cut the baby in half, per Solomon, right? Right? That's where the wisdom of Solomon comes in. You know the story I'm talking about, right?
A little bit.
Right? So the two women are arguing about whose baby it is, right? Whose baby is it, right? And if you've ever been involved in a divorce negotiation, this story makes a hell of a lot more sense, actually. Just saying it. But, so the two women come to King Solomon, and they say, it's my baby. No, it's my baby. No, it's my baby. And King Solomon says, you know what? Cut the baby in half and give each one of them a half. Right? And the woman goes, no. Right away says, no. So, sire, don't do that. Right away. And he's like, give the baby to that woman there. That's what the king does, bro. And then the president of the company, that's his job. He swoops in, or the manager, whoever's at the top of that pyramid, swoops in and goes, what's going on here? Man, I got to open up with this vendor. I got to open up. Why? Tell me why. No, man, what we're going to do is we're going to sub this one out for this one here. Go back to your customer and tell them you made a mistake and you're actually going to use XYZ company instead, because it's the same thing, dude. Or maybe a light goes off in the president's head and he says, wow, does that company have a product list or what? Yeah, maybe that fits great on an online card. So then if they can't come to terms, those two guys, then they go to the president. The president cuts the baby in half. That's it.
That's how you do it. You couldn't have summed it up any better right there. So yeah, consolidating vendors, I think there is a fine line. You don't want to have too many and you don't want to have too few. You got to have that right balance and you got to keep that tension to keep it balanced. I agree. What more can you say?
That was a blast on the Business Blast. Of course, folks, we are very thankful to our sponsor. If you're an electrical distributor, why not add Satco to your line card? Come on now. Why would you add Satco? Because Satco is one of those vendors that you can point to on your list and say, these guys have it. Oh, no, I want to buy these vintage lamps. Satco's got it. I want to buy some LED T5HOs. Satco's got it. I need to buy some fixtures. Satco's got it. I need to buy some incandescent lamps, but Satco's got it. I need Satco. Go to satco.com. Thank you for listening to the Business Blast.